Hello, alright. This is map 3 of the ones I have to review. If you're looking for map 2, I haven't made it yet. I wanted to jump to map 3 because someone specifically wanted coaching on their end first, and they were able to catch me. I'm also brought in a special guest, my friend. Say hello.
Hi.
Yeah, he's also did some coaching and received a lot of coaching and is very good at the game. I look up to him. All
Oh,
right. Um, Again, this follows the same tournament standard, I believe, where you guys are protecting and banning certain heroes. So
The
let's go
battle starts in
over
5,
just the
4,
general
3,
first ones.
2.
We
You're
are
here.
green. General first look. They banned the Flame Dude. Sorry, I'm forgetting his name. Human Torch. They banned Human Torch, which is really nice because he has some really disgusting movement you can do with him. You guys banned Phoenix, which makes sense if you guys are going to be stacking on each other the entire time. They kept Magic, which is nice. We kept the Luna. They kept no one. Hold on. My apologies. I gotta double check. Yeah, okay, we're the left side. My apologies. This tournament style isn't what I'm used to. We banned Hulk. They banned no one. We kept Invisigirl. They kept Star Lord. We banned Psylocke. They banned Penny. What's interesting with these bans and these saves is what it says about each one of our teams. If we're gonna ban a bunch of dive characters, uh, and they ban someone like Namor, right? Then that's a positive for our ban because that means they were planning to play dive against us. But if we're banning like random characters that aren't necessarily related to each other, it feels like we're just trying the shotgun approach of just shooting a shotgun and seeing what hits, what doesn't, right? So there is rhyme and reason to banning certain heroes. Human Torch, for one, is a hero that most people are gonna ban outright just because of his buggy melee, fast fall, and whatnot, hitbox manipulation that he can do. But also, what you guys are saving, and what they're saving is telling you guys a lot about each other. For example, they're probably gonna have a Magic or a Star Lord sometime, and they're probably gonna maybe run Dive sometime if they're banning Penny. In terms of you guys, what this tells me, as me being the enemy, you guys are probably gonna run Luna Invis, okay? And you guys probably don't want to deal with flanks, banning that Psylocke and that Phoenix. Phoenix obviously isn't only a flank; she's pretty brawly and pokey. But she can definitely dive if need be with her dash and fly movement abilities. You won't always see that, but something to keep in mind. And Hulk, yeah, you probably don't want to deal with dive. So that is probably a reason for them banning the anti-dive. And since you guys didn't ban BP, if they had a BP player, this is, in my eyes, free range. You know, the only guy I'm worrying about is Namor, and I'm guessing this might have been the slot that they would have banned Namor in.
Pick
But
your hero.
looking forward, you guys are playing pretty much the kind of comp uh, in map 1, where you are playing the tri support setup and you don't have a very heavily defined win condition. Obviously, I would have loved to tell you this right after map 1, but you know, you guys had to play all 5 maps in succession. Um, but going further, right, uh, I'm gonna assume that I didn't like this is your first time playing, right? The things that we have to keep in mind is Thor and Magic can be diving together. We need to be cycling. If we are going to play triple support, I already don't like it, but this is slightly better because you're running the Jeff. So you can, if you play correctly, you should be diving with the Thor and Magic since you'll be able to give them speed boost and get them out and in when they need to. Going further, you don't have necessary predefined win condition besides that dive. So I would make those switches to get a second DPS personally. I prefer having a more balanced team than having tri-support bullet sponging. And if this is any way like map 1, we should be trying to play a bit more aggressive and a bit more stable and aware of each other, and we should be doing those callouts and being safe with our abilities and not using them early or too late.
Incoming.
So, okay. Let me go out here. I actually really wanna watch that start. I mentioned in map 1, having a Jeff for the start just to give that first bubble and then swapping off to a faster character like Luna or even Invisigirl is like fine. But now let's see if we did do that. I cannot tell. Let's see. So we should give a bubble. Yep. Great.
They're staying on Jeff.
Let's mix that. That's fine if you stay on Jeff here. We don't necessarily know what they want, the enemy wants, and what the enemy has right now. Again, I'm trying to avoid looking top right to the yellow team to be as fair to your guys' perspective as possible. If you are saying Jeff, once again, Magic, Thor, you guys gotta be together. You guys gotta be tight. It looks like we swapped off the Thor for a Strange, so we actually might want to swap off the Jeff here too. Jeff, overall, like his main utility is going to be the speed and the pierce, right? The pierce is pretty nice because it has infinite range, but it doesn't do that much healing. There's only a few things that it can out heal, and it looks like they're running the same sort of people. So we know what Yuri is. We know what Monkey D. I don't know his full name. Monkey D. Whatever. Is. We know what Wacko is going to play. I think Jabberwocker is new, and Raven is new, and Yuh is new. But either way, just trying to be more aware of the team composition. Running Jeff here is a bit rough. I mean, it's the choice that we did, but now we gotta stick with Magic, and Magic's not with you. So this is gonna be poke damage central for your team, and it's not gonna go too well because you're not gonna be able to heavy go into anything. And this is a bad position for Jeff. Again, like what I mentioned last time, or just a few seconds ago, a lot of Jeff's utility comes from the ability to pierce and not, you know, having that long range. The ability to pierce is more important than the long rangeness. And once again, as I mentioned in map 1, if you've watched it, your main focus as tri-support is try and get one support to focus damage. Having one support focus damage and heals, and have one support focus heals. That way you guys can build ult naturally between two supports or one support, and have them have their ult way earlier than anybody else. That is also a strategy in two support lineups, where you would have one support focusing on damage while the other support is focusing on heals, so you can stack ult charge on that one support and have it for the next battle or the next opening battle. So here, this girl is a bit scary. I haven't been able to really play against her. So a lot of my opinions on playstyle will come from the 2 games I have played against her. I came to be sick the day she was released and couldn't play her until like 4 days in. So a lot of the abilities that might seem more obvious to you guys is not going to be necessarily obvious to me, as I'm learning her kit with you guys all over again. What I do know about her is her left shift can stab, and she plays very similar to Thor in terms of CC ability. So if she can hook someone, she can push someone deep into your backline, or sorry, their backline, and then that Thor can go ahead and push them even deeper to the backline. And then both these tanks, being off tanks, can just burst down someone by forcing them deep into their DPS. So that is something to keep in mind. You do not want to get caught up with her. You want to be calling her out when you see her trying to go for a move like that. You want to be calling out when she drops out of fly mode. You want to be calling out when she uses her fast dash and such, and just make sure to be calling out important abilities.
Also, you missed a heavy thing. Like at the very beginning of the fight, your magic pretty much uses her like ability, like just pressured out by Angela, and then we proceed to go in, even though the rest of the team is not in a position to follow up. Already, your magic's in the middle of the fight, engaged, already losing a dash, like from the beginning when she dodged the Angela, and also is in pretty much without most of her check her cooldowns right now.
Her cooldowns are pretty much empty.
Yeah, you use your E, you use one of your shifts, and your team is still. Where's your team? Still back, like still jumping off of high ground, following
still
up.
Here, yeah.
No, her team, the Magic's team.
Still here.
They're still jumping off of high ground. Exactly, and now only then. So pretty much your Magic has used every single ability, almost all of her movement abilities, and is out of the fight until she gets her E and everything else back. While your team has pretty much gained no value from it, maybe like a bit of the
room. There's very little space.
No, you're at the same. I'd say this is the same position for both teams.
This is pretty close to the same position.
I think the enemy team is actually in a stronger position right now because they have 3 people like closing in on a like injured Magic, while the Jeff's in the way back, while the rest of the team is like still at the choke. Your Bucky needs to be like the Bucky's not really in range to hook anything good, and the only thing you've really depleted is the whatever her name. Angela's bar, like halfway.
Yeah. Also, once again, main thing with Jeff is his pierce. If you were low ground, you could be piercing heals and getting damage. I figured you guys are still yet to talk about who's going to be focusing on getting ult charge first, right? With the heal line. So at this point, I would have just fallen down and try and get the extra pierce. We are still playing a bit split. There is an Angela. We did hook her in. We might be able to kill her, but we don't. And we should be backing up a little now. Your Jeff hopefully has called out that there's a Star-Lord flanking top. But in the case that he isn't, he should do that next time, and we should still be pushing back. Our C&D is now deep into the points. C&D excels at AoE healing. So they're going to be able to heal up a lot of people that are very close together very fast, right? When you're this far forward, you almost have your back towards the enemy. This is very dangerous because you are in the position. Yeah, your back is actually towards the enemies in this scenario. You don't know what's behind you. This, they can shoot down, drop it, pick you off. Your tank's not looking forward. You guys gotta drop back for the flank because they were able to get high ground. They're able to pressure the high ground, the very strong high ground, and they're able to shoot over shields and such. And
also, this is the importance of team composition. Like, if you had a second tank, you could have either killed the Angela because you would have had more damage output to like finish her off when the Bucky was hooking her in. She almost left with 100 HP, like with like barely any HP left. A second tank probably would have closed that gap and got her to kill. or contested the high ground and make sure the Starlord isn't flanking the rest of your team.
Yeah.
Like one of those options would have been great if you had a second tank, but we're running 3 supports and like effectively just for extra healing, which hasn't been needed so far.
Yeah. It is the thing if we want to run like a flank Jeff. I know I used to run a lot of flank Jeff in like Diamond and low GM to just peel off support on their backline. Because you as Jeff can just flank behind, you're faster than everybody, right? So you're just gonna go over here, bubble yourself, shoot, you know, maybe go over here and just try and peel off to support. Because it's not necessarily that you're getting value only when you're getting kills. You can get a lot of value by just distracting or taking off pressure off of someone. Right. We're continuing. There, Sarah's gonna drop down, and we're still playing very, like, almost risky with our supports here for a bit, and somehow we were able to get out, which is perfectly fine. We are down 1, so this is gonna be a little scary. But we do have 3 supports, so we can actually focus on keeping the tank up if he wants to be able to bullet sponge. We do have to keep in mind that Angela is going to be able to hook one of us, and so we might want to try and save Bucky hook to try and get rid of Angela Pierce. That way we're able to bring her in, she wasted an ability, she can't get out fast, and we'll be able to burst her down. Yeah. Now she's forcing you in. Good. We're gonna drop back here. It's an interesting play that we tried to do with Jeff. We are still down 1, and they're not low enough HP to justify pushing in here. There's not really much reason to be touching point. It did indirectly save your Bucky from dying after Angela Pin, but it's still just unnecessary. And you might get picked here. We get lucky, we get out. We get a pick. We are almost back. Magic's going to be back soon. So we just want to kind of fold on the back line and try and stabilize while we have this pick up. So we're gonna make sure, all 3 supports went and got sectioned off by this Angela. Now, we as supports have to run back, preferably up here into this rock to see our tanks again and our DPS again. But we should not be pushing up into the, we should not be pushing up into the tank to try and heal. Remember, we have an infinite range Jeff. That Jeff is able to heal that Strange as long as he plays a bit safer and doesn't push up. It also, again, still looks like we're not calming maybe everything that we're trying to do or trying to achieve. So remember, just calm, hey, you're sectioned off or whatnot to the tank so he doesn't push in, or hey, on your supports, right? Remember, we don't need perfect comms. We just need to say like 1 or 2 words to understand each other. Over here, here we should absolutely focus the blade. This is a free blade kill. Our main trouble again, we didn't burst down that blade, and I have a strong feeling it's because we only have 1 DPS. Or we have 2 DPS here. We have 1 DPS up. But we need to be able to kill him there. He was very deep. Use all that you can to try and get him down. That was, in all regard, a free kill, unfortunately. So here, we're gonna be careful. We're gonna play a little bit more safe. We have a full reconvene here, so now we can hard push in. We're gonna make sure we stay aggressive. We're not gonna let go of that aggression. I'm gonna stay up. Play a little safe though. Don't go dying. Make sure we're keeping our altar up. Getting that anti-heal on, or that anti-life on. a little early on that. I think you could have rotated as Bucky to get a better angle on this Angela, since we know she just came here. And there was a support here that we had yet to kill, so she may have went back, or if she's a bit smarter, she may have went in out. But either way, we don't
Honestly,
see
I don't
her.
really like this fight because even you guys won, it was mainly because the enemies made mistakes. The reason why I feel like after the magic, they should, if they stabilized and like played the point correctly, they would have just had it and possibly picked you guys up, but they overextended and you guys did a good job of punishing them. That was great. However, like in that scenario, like that should have been a lost fight. The reason like why you guys lost in the first place was like the magic used her abilities at the very beginning, got picked off. Then because she was forced out of her cooldowns, and because she was forced out of her cooldowns, she couldn't dive, and nor was in a position to dive the backline. And you guys had to play Brawl into a composition where they have 2 tanks and 2 DPS, whereas you guys only have like 3.
Yeah.
And in those scenarios, you just lose, but they overextended. But I don't think it's a good example of like a fight.
It's hard. Let's go. Nice hook on the Angela. Let's try and focus her down here. Nice. And we want to stay up here. Oh, we just saw our magic go in. I'm hoping she called that out. But we should not be running away now. We should absolutely help our magic here. She might get picked off early, which would cause us to lose the fight. We're good, and we're coming back. I don't like this Jeff positioning still. You have infinite range, but again, Pierce is the important part. Our tank's far back, so we gotta be able to hold choke as a tank and make sure that we're not giving up any free space. The rough thing about this map is it's actually pretty balanced, so there's not 1 or 2 good chokes. Like, the enemy can rotate top of here very easily, which is good for the game. That's what it should be in the game. But it's bad for us because we're still sitting points. Just to get up took like 5 seconds. And we shouldn't have even backed out as hard as we have. We could have kept the space, gotten a few more ticks of ult charge, you know, come into this fight using ult. Like here especially, now you as a Strange have your ult, you should not be playing scared. Your ult forces them back. Even if you miss your ult, they're having to focus you to make sure you don't hit your ult. And we're getting Pierce. Nice burst down on the Angela. We're able to capitalize on her mistake. And we just want to play a bit more aggressive again. Play with your magic, help your magic stay in as long as she can. I don't necessarily like ulting here. Personally, I would have preferred if we focused just damaging first. It did force out an enemy ult, but we're not, even when you did hit that ult, the only person we would have been able to kill is Star-Lord, and he would have died without our ult, because then she wouldn't have been forced to use Invisibarrier or Invis-Ult. However, even without forcing Invis-Ult, if she used Invis-Ult, we would have been in a better position anyway. So we did get that kill, right? We killed Blade, which this is really good. So they're doing kind of what you guys were doing in the first map, where you guys were kind of just using your ults when the team fight was over a few times. And now they're doing it. So you're seeing how that looks like from the enemy's point of view now. Where you're just using ults randomly. Now we're going to go in. We're going to keep this pressure. We're not going to push too far up because LOS on this pillar is going to be very strong, especially with Angela back up. She's going to be able to force you guys deeper into the spawn, which is bad. So we want to kind of stay in this general facility, trying to not LOS this too hard so that we can get healed and we can avoid Angela as best as we can.
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep
So now we hear Angela flying left. We get up. So now we all have to rush to the Strange's aid. We all have to rush that and try. Yes. And now we should try and use ults here. A support ult is huge here. You know, just try and keep the fight going because they popped Star-Lord ult, and Star-Lord ult is pretty strong, but it gets out-healed very easily by a support ult. I would have liked to see Jeff ult here actually, because you were as Jeff, you were the only one being targeted here. They just Luna ulted, so you know what? I'm gonna spam my bubbles on the path to Luna, eat the people that are sitting in Luna ult for free, and then use the bubbles to run away from Luna ult. And then if Luna's chasing me, I'm gonna spit the enemy back at Choke, away from Luna ult again, which forces Luna in a bad position for her ult. So there is that idea in terms of Jeff ult. But even without the Jeff ult, we should be using CND ult. Again, it's that thing where we're holding ults, and then by the time we get an ult, you know, we could have had another ult. We know that they don't have Blade ult because they used it last time, and we know that they're using Star-Lord ult now. So, because you guys are going to have trouble keeping healing up, you guys should, I honestly both ulted, to be 100% honest, to try and get those positions and try and get those favorable trades, right? And C&D, obviously they have the Magneto ult, but as long as you play even semi-smart, you can really avoid Magneto by using that natural cover. Interesting double stack ult, or double carpet, or double stack carpet. God, forgetting my calls. So here, we should focus being aggressive with this ult. It's C&D is a very weird state where it's pretty defensive and pretty non-defensive, right? But here, like, even though people are full, you want to get back to them. So dashing onto card isn't really the best option for us right now. And then, yeah, we're too late on the uptake. And then, yeah. If we used one of our dashes to get up here originally, we know that the two people close to us, the tank and the full HP support, is going to be able to step into our carpet, our C&D carpet, and get healed by that without us having to get out of the carpet and, you know, like push back and whatnot. So regarding this carpet placement, right, it gets to a point where we really want to maximize our aggressiveness with this carpet. And then stacking carpet is bad. But you had to, because you went defensive carpet first. Yeah, before you ult, you can just quickly look around, or you did see both of them near you at one point. So just ulting forward, they're both full HP, they're both grown people, they're going to be able to step into that carpet without you needing to hold their hand and such. And that led to the depth of your Bucky, because we're playing very passive with our tank, because we only have one. And the depth of our ulting magic, which sucks a lot, because our magic was able to be oppressive enough for the Luna ult and everything.
So cold.
So now they're just going to be able to run. We need to be able to get out. We need to use our hide, or I don't know what the ability is called, but when you turn into cloak and you use your movement ability to turn invincible, we need to be using that to try and get away from the team as well, as much as possible. Yeah, that was kind of useless, but that's what I meant there. Use it for no reason there. So now we really want to just kind of stack and play near this underground area, because then we can use this as shelter to go back here or up here. So we do not want to play as the open as supports here, and tank, we really want to try and get our team out a little and not go in, because yeah, that's gonna happen. I'm just gonna be able to hook you. Nice. Remember, LOS, just gonna stay on one side of the pillar, try and get some damage out. Oh, regarding this was really good from our Jeff, because this forces out their mag, so your Invisigar is now gonna have a free ult. So yes, you die, but it's actually kind of worth, since you guys got a trade off and you guys have ults now ready. And obviously Jeff is your fastest character in this lineup. So you guys are going to be back soon. Just make sure you're focusing, healing that tank. Don't let him die. Don't let him die. Nice. And you guys are just going to try and hold a bit further back. You guys are down one, which is important. They're down one, but they also have the ability that I think Angel's going to do now. Yeah, they have that, which is why you want to play a little bit safer. And now for this, nice, beautiful. I was just about to say Invisigar ult immediately for that. Burst Angela down. Good Agamotto, great. I didn't even see you go back there. Let me see that again. Nice, just flying from the high ground. A little high, but hey, it worked out. Did they have the ult, so it was fine for you to do that? Now we're just gonna try and come back, stay safe, keep your Pierce on your tank as a Jeff. Try and focus on keeping everybody up. A nice re-engage and keeping aggression after we got a few picks. Anything to add?
Alright, I'll keep my notes towards the end. But honestly, like, I think you guys do a good job of punishing them, but I'm gonna be honest, like, a lot of them were making mistakes they shouldn't have been, because, like, most of the time they were, like, overextending, or, like, in, like, a scenario where they had the advantage, they kind of, like, funneled into main and, like, let their supports get picked off some way. So, but the Strange Flake I really liked that for the ultimate. That was really good, and I think you guys did a good job of not staggering or using multiple ults at the same time and like layering them.
This is a huge improvement from map 1 that I saw, where you guys were just dropping ults and holding ults forever. But let's continue. Once again, we're going to be running the same type of matchup. Where is my mouse? There you go. We're going to be running the same type of matchup again. The only difference is they have a Spider-Man. We knew that they probably wanted to do some type of flank. Angela was pretty oppressed a lot of the time, which was pretty good from us. But we're going into this round, you know, it's a bit rougher, if I remember. Hold on. Not this round. Hold on. My bad. Okay, now we're in the right spot. This map. 1 second, I don't know this map too well. Is this the one? Ah, it's this one. Okay. So we're gonna. This map kind of sucks because of this thing in the center, but we're not gonna deal with that. In terms of like positioning, if you're long range, this type of high ground is gonna be pretty nice. So I have a health pack back here, and the tanks kind of want to focus on holding right side a lot of the times, and the DPS, as far as I'm concerned, typically go left side to try and pinch out their tanks or flank. Their team, they've lost the Angela for a Venom. We probably could have predicted this because they banned Penny Parker. And we know that our, in terms of our team, right, we're running the same thing. So we're gonna bubble, hopefully switch. Doesn't look like we are gonna switch. But we are running 3 supports again, so last round we did an alright job rotating support
30
ults.
seconds before you attack.
I would have
Get
loved to see a more aggressive rotation. And obviously, regarding the Star-Lord, using the right ults at the right time. Okay, they're running Hell of Venom. They obviously don't know this, and they're running C and D
The
now
battle starts in 5,
as well.
4, 3, 2,
We're gonna
1.
ignore
All you
that
need to
for
do is
now
capture the mission
and just
area.
focus
Got
on
it?
what our team can do. We should try and go all through the same door with Jeff so we can all consistently get bubbles from Jeff. Go rotation to high ground. We saw their tank. We saw their tank. Make sure we're calling that out.
No, I don't think anyone's seeing it.
Hold on. If I go back, I know one of us saw the tank, because this is something that I talked about in map 1, where we're seeing a tank, but we're not calling him out. So yeah, we see the tank.
Okay.
You see it. You gotta ping it. You gotta call it, and you know that their tank is gonna look for a dive. So what are we gonna do? We're not gonna hard push right now. We're gonna try and bait a dive. So we're gonna be wary. We know that the tank's climbing. We know he's a dive tank. So what are we gonna do? Yeah, nice. We're gonna try and force him out. Nice. But now it's no longer a problem. Now it's no longer a problem as a tank. Now it's time to focus up on main with your DPS. You should not be chasing. I don't like this. I'd much rather you be right side, especially to deal with this pulled in mag. That was a beautiful pull, by the way. Let's see that again. Let's see this again. So you forced out tank, yeah. So now immediately don't care about the tank anymore. You did your job. You forced a dive. I don't like that you went this way and then went back instead of just going from in front and being ready to shield off here. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But I hear, like, you are done chasing the tank. You went a little too deep. Now we should be calling mag, mag, mag. Everybody mag. Everybody should be on mag. Great punish on mag. Beautiful. That is what we want to see. Every ability there was just absolutely perfect. So now we're just gonna... unfortunately they didn't have a strong ability because we stacked on the lane. But hopefully we're able to reconvene a little. We are gonna pop Bucky ult, which is interesting that we went Bucky ult into deep instead of Bucky ulting the blade. That is gonna be another death, and we should just get out. Unless our magic gets a 3k, we need to get out, and we need to run out, and we need to be safe. But we're still stacking on point, we're still staying on point. So let's see what the main issue is. We are pretty close together. They ulted, and then they dived. So they just played well. There's nothing we can really do there. I mean, besides playing more with cover, especially the guys on point playing with the cover of the tree. There's not much we can do there. We should not be Bucky ulting here. There is, we just got Blade ulted. I think you're half HP antied. There's not really a reason why we would win this unless we get a significant amount of kills. But it's not going to be possible. So we did pop an ult. A bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. We should be backing up here, but we decide to stay forward, which is aggression, which is nice, but it's a wrong type of aggression. Now we're going in, regardless if we killed that blade or not, it's not going to do anything for us. We're still down too many people. We're down both supports, or 2 supports, and our Jif's about to die. It's just unfortunate. Our magic's dead, so we should be getting out. Give up points or die fast. Preferably die fast. But they don't have anybody necessarily too fast. So there was a chance for you guys to get out if you guys were escaping earlier. So over here, just die. Don't even try and save. You're no longer contesting points, so no need to hold shield. Just get out fast, try and die fast, and try and regroup faster. One moment. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Let's look at this. So we're going up. I like the Hela swap. I'm a big fan of Hela here. So we're going to be able to just... I don't like where you're playing Hela though. We are not playing Hela to get long range to ego battle the enemy Hela. We are playing Hela to force out Venom, right? So here you're just gonna right click him completely. You're gonna force him to get it. Yep, out. Nice. And we're just nice. Get that. And now we're getting out. Now we're getting out. We're gonna stay. We're down a tank. This is what sucks about having one tank, is if he dies, it's really hard to get a lot of stuff done. We can still get stuff done, but it's really hard to get a lot of it done. So we're just going to play a little safer. If we get a second pick, that'd be nice. Or if we use an ult to engage here, like a C&D ult to engage here, then we could play aggressive. But right now, we're kind of just saving, you know. And we're going to use Dark Child. So now we're going in. Now we're going in. We have chosen to invest. We've popped the ult. Now we go in. I don't like the Jeff ult. Yeah, I gotta say, I don't like the Jeff ult. I don't know what you're trying to do with the Jeff ult here. I'm gonna be very real with you. So let's see where you were for that ult. So you're face tanking, which is like whatever, because you have Dark Child up, right? But now you're ulting there. If you're ulting here, you're ulting for the C&D. You're waiting until her third dash, fourth dash. Now you're eating her. But you ulted early. Let's see. Yes, you would have had time to actually eat her. You gotta be looking out for that C&D ult, and you gotta be able to eat her, because your team's win condition now hinges on you eating C&D. And this, you didn't place down any bubbles. If you place down a bubble for your escape before ulting, you could get the speed boost after you eat someone. You didn't eat the right person because their team is now comfortably sitting in C&D ult and they're going to get healed. So now we're probably going to have to invest another ult to win this match. You did force out mag ult, which wasn't particularly great by their mag, but it will mean that they're going to be able to hold points a little harder. Even though you guys are winning point, this isn't necessarily a good play on your end.
Halfway point.
Nice, and then everybody's perfectly focusing. I will say the good thing about your Jeff ult is you didn't die in it. So you're able to drag 3 away from point. Whether that was your intention or not, up for debate. Whether that's the person you should have targeted with your ult, up for debate. But the nice thing that is verifiably good is that you were dragging 3
Your
away.
team's capture progress has passed the halfway point.
Did die. C&D, I see, died here too.
Seized.
He's gonna get out. That's an ult wasted, so that's overall good for you guys. Then we're gonna go nice, good aggression here. Nice, okay. As a tank, where are you going? You are not the one to watch flank. If you want anybody to watch flank, you put Hela or one of your supports like Jeff to watch flank. Jeff isn't here right now, so it'd be Hela watching flank, or even actually Magic could even watch flank. But you need to be holding front line. Your Magic is being forced out of position because she's expecting you to be up here. So continue. So they dive. Make sure we're calling that out as supports. We're not backing up, which means I'm gonna guess we're not calling it out. You're gonna go for a weird ult with Strange again, I think.
More vulnerable
Gonna
than
go
ever.
from the top, but you doing this is leaving the rest of the team to be exposed. That's not really good. You are able to get 2 though. If you shoot and then ult, you would have actually killed one of them from the top because you would have had more charge and you would have been able to deal that damage. So shoot, ult, and then shoot, melee, E kills. That would have killed at least Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah, and that would have prevented that ult.
I'm ready.
We do have our carpet up, which is good. Did we double stack carpet again? 1.
I am ready to put on a show.
No, we ran into a wall. Okay. I would have preferred that you'd continue here or go there. That's whatever. That's a small thing. We're just gonna try and stay in ult as much as possible. Now we are gonna ult with C&D the second this is over to try and keep points, yeah? So now we're ulting. Nice, great. Now everybody's shooting her. Nice. You don't actually need to block her. When everybody's in ult, when everybody's in physical ult, you do not need to block her. You go up and you shoot her too.
You captured more than half of the mission.
You can also time your shot, so you shoot, tank 1, shoot, tank 1, shoot, tank 1, instead of just tanking it with your shield. Also, because you're an ult, as long as you're in front of her blocking most of her vision, she's gonna have to shoot you, regardless if your shield's up or not. And because you're an ult, you're gonna get healed, and there's no way that they can burst you down fast enough.
Area. Keep going.
Here, we're gonna do a hell ult. I like this. We're gonna stick together down here. Yeah, we're gonna try and help our dude. We're not all gonna be focusing Venom here. As I mentioned in map 1, we don't want every single person on Venom. We want to be able to keep people up outside of Venom. That's why your magic is a bit confused, and she's gonna die here again. I've noticed that half of Magic's deaths are her going in a bit early, while another half of her deaths are from the supports being a little bit distracted. So here you could have saved your magic, right? That Venom didn't even die. So now, oh, hold on. We are hard chasing. We should not be hard chasing. He is now safe. You can no longer kill him. There is no way you can kill a tank that's getting double healed and in an ult. About to get double healed, yeah. So you should not be chasing there. You are, as a solo tank, you're giving up so much space on the left side. You're gone. Your supports are in the middle of nowhere. They're about to possibly die, most likely. You know, your Jeff's in a rough position too. Gonna try and heal. He's gonna get caught out soon. Has to be forced out. Interesting rotation again. With the rotations, we want to be able to choose the good rotations that would get us in good areas. That rotation too was really unnecessary because you knew the Strange would have to go from the left side back forward, right? You knew he would have had to do that, so you rotating as if he was going to push up did not help in the position, and you were able to get caught up again. So instead of losing just one with this Jeff going in for some reason, you're going to lose 2 supports, and then everybody else is probably going to fall soon. Yeah. So let's look at this, analyzing the Jeff and Strange. So Jeff, it is like kind of fine that you're here, right? But you going on point here is not really helping anything. You're not able to heal. You should be rotating out over this way towards your team instead of away from your team. If you are going away from your team, you're going towards the health pack and not back on point. So going over here is not doing much in terms of healing. I think that Invisigirl did heal you, but she shouldn't have been there in the first place to heal you.
That's much better. Anyone willing to help?
Yeah, she should not have been there to heal you. She got lucky that she jumped in and you happened to justify her position a little. You weren't able to heal her, and you should have either backed up to the health pack or backed up towards your team because your team was in such a bad position for you to be there. So here we're just gonna die fast. Now, if you can't get out, you're gonna die. You're not gonna hold your shield. Yeah, good. Good, I saw that. Now we're straight out. We are forced back. Nice. We're just gonna wait for everybody. We might actually even bait a TP. Yeah. So now you're gonna place this behind cart, hopefully, or behind point, not above it. This doesn't really do anything. When you place your portal in the air, you're not able to go back through it. Doesn't sound that bad until you realize your portal is right outside of spawn. If need be, your magic can always dash through portal into spawn and then go out again if it's early on in the fight. This portal also could be used as an infinite health shield, because anything that they shoot through the portal, if you're hiding behind it, is just going to go into nothingness. So instead of placing portal up top randomly in the air, especially when they have characters that can reach up there, we should be trying to place portal on high ground or on the ground on point and using it as a shield. So now we're going to be rushing forward. We're going to do a nice kill there. Nice. Now we're going to be careful. I'm gonna focus on these 3 up here, and then we'll focus on everybody else soon after. So nice, we're gonna focus. We're gonna shoot into that actually. So we absolutely want to shoot into that. With that mag ult, we had enough damage to break it. We also could have stacked on our tank, and our tank could have shielded. This makes no sense. I get the idea of eating with Jeff to counter the mag ult, but usually when mag ults like that and you're Jeff, you kind of want to do it the second, and you kind of want to pop your eat immediately, not move at all either. So here, no, you went in, you waited, then you ate. This eat means nothing and could cost your team once. And everybody's focused on Venom, yeah, they're not going to be able to TP. Or they might actually be able to TP, they likely will TP in a second here, but... Now let's look at everybody else, because I stayed focused on 3. So we're going to go in, there is a cut, right? So you did section, or get sectioned off, and that's going to be pretty decent for their team, that they're a bit sectioned off, because everybody's facing forward, no one's looking at back up, which is why 2 of your members went to critical HP super fast, is because no one paid attention to the people behind. And if they had an ult, they would have been able to. So in this scenario, they weren't able to actually engage on your mistake. Now going in, running back, you know, we're playing very weirdly with the support lineup here. You know, we're focusing on healing. We're gonna try and heal the front line, which is mostly full. We're gonna try and heal the back line, which is low. We're trying to go get this sidelines and whatnot and natural cover, which I like, but we're just all over the place. And if we fought someone better, they'll be able to take advantage of our poor positioning here. Yeah. Also, you do have a C&D. If the C&D says, or C&D being Cloak and Dagger, if the C&D says I can cloak, that usually means she can use her cloak ability and then right click to save everybody. So in that scenario that she says that, no one wants to shoot because everybody wants to be a part of that cloak. Okay. Wasted, but sure. We're gonna go in, we're gonna focus him. We're gonna get out, nice.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Control
Now, okay. Now we know they're likely gonna teleport. So what we're gonna do, we're not gonna stack points. We're gonna stack off of points. This is where we're gonna hold tab, use our tab to check if there is anybody teleporting. No one's teleporting. Okay, we can continue with stacking some more up. I do not like the wasted space. So here as a tank, we want to kind of play up here so we can get this health pack for our team. And if we need to push back, we can push back slowly back here. We see the dive. They're probably going to get a pick on us. Right? Yeah, dive. So we're going to just hold back, keep pushing back because we know the dive. Hella, that's your responsibility, is to dive. If our magic helps too, yeah. So we're able to get this. We're able to get the Hella, and then no one can block us. So we're just gonna get free Hella rain. Gonna focus. I do like that you healed the Hella while she was in the ult, but you cannot heal her ult. So healing her one tick was enough to heal her. And going back to heal. Nice pierce, nice angle, and we'll win. Any comments? I think I lost my special guest. I did lose my special guest. Alright, I do like the movements or some positioning you guys have. Make sure and like re-watch certain parts where I comment. Again, I held my focus mostly on the support line. More of a focus on our DP S line. I kind of avoided talking about Ato again by accident.
Looks like the mission area is yours
I'm
to
gonna
capture
quickly
now.
go over. So going forward, this is all Ato. If you are not Ato, you may learn something from this, but this is focusing on Ato's gameplay right now.
Invisible?
So nice, good damage, good breaker, nice. In. Now we're gonna go deep in, but we're gonna wait for our abilities.
Control C's.
Okay, your issue's not the tank. Do not focus tank. You saw someone behind you. It's more important that you get the person behind you. Yeah, took you late. You could have killed her much earlier, and then that would have been means to go in faster up here. Decent. You do not have to push in all the time. Your tank's gone. You saw your tank through the wall. You should be yelling at him. Push up, keep up, stay up. You know, anything you need to do to get him back up here. Back up here. Interesting rotation. There's not really a reason to rotate besides your tank not being up here. Here I personally prefer to flank, so I would already be behind them.
Enemy in front.
Just trying to get more peel off and such. Nice. Nice, you're staying forward. Oh, you lost focus. You lost focus. So here, you shouldn't have went in, but since you did, like, hit them, and then you can go to the side here, down, and then forward up here, because you know your Jeff's high ground. Instead, you LOS the Jeff here, and now you're actually in LOS. Forced back. Be right-clicking a lot. As when you're fighting a tank, you want to be placing your minions a lot more. Nice. You didn't really need to do that, that's fine. Use that to get out, that's interesting. Keeping up. Don't ult here. I wouldn't engage here personally. So, you know, Angela's up and she might ping you in.
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
Through, just waddling. I don't know what you're doing here. I don't think anybody called out behind. And if you suspected that there was a flank, you say, hey, I think there's a flank, play close. So Angela's there. No. Nice. Nice. So you can actually one-shot through that. You can actually one-shot through that if you right-click, you left-click, I think it is, or something like that. You can actually hit through that. And that was an interesting ult. I think you could have killed her even without your ult here. So yeah, you were fine to kill her because you had your left shift into the wall and then right click so she can't push up here. But instead you're gonna ult, which then actually is the reason why she lived. Because if you kept your thing there, they all would have pushed back, which they end up doing anyway because you're in your ult, and then you would have had your ult as an escape ability instead of as a tool to kill. So here, you know, you can't really go anywhere. You're seeing the, you know, did the carpet back and forth, which is unfortunate, but this is a focus on what you could have done. I would have tried and forced out or prevented her, forced their team out more, try and keep their team from pushing forward as much as possible on Magic.
The area's almost yours.
I think actually left click, right click is a faster animation than left click if you're chaining left shifts.
Letting the dark child out.
Nice, and then nice, nice. And then you can back up a little. Now I would recommend going top. Either wasting time forward, so it's now your turn to flank. Instead, your tank is flanking. Here you really just want to try and get this down. There's not much you can do without your speed, so getting that down is priority 1. You're able to get that partly because of your tank there. And this is just you getting out now.
The battle starts in 5.
Let's go back to you.
2. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got
Let's
it?
see what we're doing here now. I know she's pretty brawly, but I still want to see a bit more flank, a bit more consciousness on whittling down their resources. In higher ranks, there's not as much of a need for Magic to flank because you have other people burning resources for you, but there's still an incentive here in terms of your 3-man support level. That just did nothing. I hate to say it, you just gave yourself a 14-second cooldown, 15-second cooldown for no reason. Instead of doing that sort of thing, you could have absolutely could have saved it for when you were engaging, but this is absolutely nothing because they're already close together. They're gonna want to stay close together. Nice, and then I don't like that. I would have preferred you hide. We just heard 1,000 cuts. Right.
Capture now.
So right here. No.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Okay, so us going in here. Okay, we've heard 1,000 cuts here, so we're gonna go in and we're actually gonna hide now. There's no reason for us to go back on point because that's where everybody's standing, so there's no reason to go with that. So we're gonna run now because we have a nice flank position now. But instead, you want to go back onto point for whatever reason. Yeah. Good distraction though, I will admit. But there's just no reason for you to do any of that. You also forgot your melee there. Melee would have killed. You were close enough.
They captured the mission area!
Okay, going forward now.
Anyone willing to help?
Unnecessary. Unnecessary.
Anyone willing to help?
I'm guessing you're ult counting, which is why you know you can do this, but this means nothing. You do not need ult charge. They do not need ult charge. You're not going to kill anybody.
Get ready.
You just put yourself on a 6-second cooldown for no reason. So, and when we look at your damage, it's pretty good. That number does not matter if it's higher or lower as long as you're doing your job. It's pretty high right now. That just boosted it, but that gives you a false sense of security that you're doing good. Just gonna run again. No reason to do that. That's not achieving anything. Your kinda does, because your Hala could kill, but that does nothing.
Okay, this feels good.
Run another 6-second cooldown. You need to ult. If you want to do this, where you're just gonna hit multiple people with your pierce shot, you know, you need to ult so it actually is valid and valuable. So now we're gonna ult here, possibly wanting to apply some more pressure. Oh, ult. Yes, left shift. Nice. Nice. So you can actually kill heal here as well. You can kill her. Oh, that's what happened. She stepped out. C&D stepped out for some reason.
Their team's capture progress is past the halfway point.
You do not need to go there. You should not turn your back though. You saw that the enemies were main.
Come on,
You're acting surprised. Okay.
Be proud of
Go
you did.
up probably. Right? Start doing something with this position. No need to do that. You can also cancel that with left shift.
Our enemies are near.
You swinging, they can hear your swings. So actually, when you're flanking, you don't want to be shooting. Nice. You actually can either and then left shift, right click out, back into safety. So I would have given you a fair bit of ult charge, and they would have had to for your tunes. Another 15-second cooldown, because why not? I'm gonna focus the tank here, yeah. Nice. So this would have been lovely for your C, is placing them on the tanks, because then, because their Venom was deep in you, and their mag doesn't have the means to get out, you can actually chain them together so their mag can't leave either, or it's just gonna kill the mag completely for no reason.
I am ready to put on a show.
Nice. So yeah, we're gonna focus on using our abilities to get ult charge. Clicking right click as much as possible. Left click dash as much as possible. She's already dead. You saw her drop down. And even if you didn't, that's not your responsibility to take care of her unless you're able to dash and place 2 minions on her.
What am I? Invisible?
So that means nothing. Nice. Focus on getting that ult charge. Nice. Good miss. Crank it out. Then you're dead. Let's rewatch that more properly. So here. This is like good. But then you heard the Venom. And you know that's the end of the Venom. So we're gonna play a bit safer because we know that we're not gonna get healed. And we're LOSing their spawn, or their main, instead of our main. So our supports, we know they're not gonna be able to heal us. Look, even your Jeff's showing you where you have to be to get healed. And then he's not able to help you. I'll say heal forward, Jeff forward, for example. You tell your Jeff that you want heals forward, even though you shouldn't have played there.
I climbed to survive this.
Control lost.
One couldn't win without the other.
Let's try and get out. Then just keep trying to get out. Nice. You have Vic Child or Dark Child. Now we're gonna teleport now.
I'm opening a portal.
Dashing through portal and ulting is an option
A
here.
shortcut through space.
I love doing that.
Just in time. Thanks.
Guys, you're gonna keep pressure. You can be careful. You can actually hit him in that. Yeah, so that's your responsibility when he ults. And you shouldn't dash left click. You should be just left clicking normally when he's in that ult.
Some help.
You'll have to keep fighting
That's
until we have a
whatever,
winner.
then they
Control
waste
C.
5 seconds. 10 seconds. You know he's there, so now you're gonna rotate for him. You're gonna look for his chain. Unfortunate chain that you didn't hit him too. Nice. You need to tell your Hela to get on this shit too. Rotate. Nice. Just try and keep that damage. Good boop. If you boop that tank, I think your Hela would have been able to shoot under his feet and hit everybody more effectively, but that doesn't matter.
Survive this.
You booped him up. And that is all for map 3. As I've noted some issues, as my co-host noted some issues, you know, mostly target priority, positioning, make sure we actually know what we need to do with our team. We had a good win condition, especially on second round, that being the 2 DPS, that Bucky and that Hela being really good, strong win conditions, and kind of just keeping the pressure up, you know, be wary of dives, be able to be calling out when we need, and that's pretty much all I wanted for this map. And I'm sorry again, Atto, for kinda ignoring you as I focus my attention to the more critical mistakes. But I gave you your 15 minutes, so hopefully that made up for it.